Let's take a look at the Woniya Thibeault Signature Card. Woniya is a wilderness survival expert who was the runner-up on Season 6 of The Alone Show. Her specific specialties include buckskin tanning and natural crafting. Woniya has a great YouTube channel, Buckskin Revolution, and her signature card is pretty revolutionary as well. This is the first card I've seen that has inspirational quotes on it. Mental aspect of survival is overlooked way too often. You have to keep your head in the game, and a quote off a card like this just might be what you need. Like all the Grim Workshop tools, this is stainless steel. It is designed to fit in the credit card slot of your wallet. This would also fit in a small personal survival tin. This back white is removable, and this is a permanent adhesive on the back side, so you can stick this to something and always have it with you. The tools all come out. When you first take them out, there is a small metal tab that needs to be broken through. So once you break through, the tools are all usable, and there is a tool retention system on the back of the cards. So you just line it up, press it back in, and then it's ready for your next adventure. So as I mentioned, she has inspirational messages all over this card. And this first one is loving connection is a survival skill. And that's a great mindset to have. So the blade shape, when I first look at it, looks to me kind of like a scalpel. It's got that scalpel shape to it. The handle's pretty decent for these size knives. I can get a full 2 fingers on this knife. So I do like that scalpel blade design. That's going to lend itself pretty well for crafting. There's enough belly in the blade here for skinning. And with that point, you can get in and do quite a bit of detail work. Now we can't miss this. Dead center middle of the knife handle is going to be a sewing awl. So let me just take this all the way out. So that's a great size awl. You can tell Woniya's background is in hide tanning and crafting. With an awl like this, this is designed for work. So if you're doing any type of leather working, boring holes through bark, this is going to be a great awl to have. Like the steel needle, a steel awl was a frequently requested trade item on the American frontier. So I've got that knife locked back in the tool retention system, and we're going to focus on the needles next. So there are 4 needles total in this card. We have one medium-sized straight, a short straight, and then these specialty L needles. So this is the longer of the 2 straight needles. So the other one's just a little bit shorter. Very fine eye, very, very fine tip. So for crafting, you could not ask for a better needle than this. This will also work great for first aid if you had a splinter you were trying to get out. So this card has a lot of really innovative features, and this is one of them. I have never seen a needle like this before. If this needle has a specific name, I don't know it. The Buckskin Revolution YouTube channel, Woniya goes over her card very, very well. So definitely check that out. But this is a specialty needle. So you can just see the design of it with this flat edge. That's going to eliminate the need to have a thimble. So in the woods, I'll grab an acorn cap or just a piece of wood just to push a needle through a hide. With this, that eliminates that. I've got this nice flat surface. And then I'm also in control of it. So I have a hooked tip, and I've got a hold of this 90. So I can actually force the tip up and through and guide it through a piece of hide. So this is very, very innovative. I love this needle design. I will be using this needle on a lot of projects. So to help you prep that leather for all that sewing projects you're going to have, there is a couple hide preparation tools in here as well. Let's pull the center one out first. So this first tool is a fleshing tool or a dry scraping tool. And you can see we have the Buckskin Revolution logo on there. So this is designed to be used a couple different ways. You can use this in your hand, and what this is just an abrasive area that's going to work fine detailed areas. So you can also see there's a hole on top, and that hole is designed to attach this to a stick for bigger jobs. So for smaller areas of the hide, more detailed areas, working it by hand is going to be fine. But if you're trying to take flesh off a larger area, you're going to want to mount this on a stick to make it easier. Now this stick is a little large, but this is a pretty decent angle for it actually. So you could make a peg. There's a couple different ways you could attach this, but essentially this is just giving you a larger handle area when you're fleshing a larger hide. So with the dry scraping tool put back, the bottom edge here, this is actually a wet scraping tool. So on the wet scraping tool, we've got Woniya Signature. We also have creativity is a survival skill. Now that's a great quote. And as I mentioned, this card is very creative. So this is a combination tool, and we can see we've got an edge along the bottom and a saw along the top. So when I'm fleshing a hide, I use a fleshing beam to do that. So essentially it's going to be a log or a rounded object where there's nothing sharp poking up where you're going to poke a hole in the hide. And this chiseled area on the bottom is enough of an edge where it's going to cut through the flesh and the fat and the tissue of the animal without cutting through the hide itself. This is a little thin for this, so they actually designed holes on either side where you can attach this to a stick. So the sawback on this tool is actually going to help you harvest that stick. So probably thumb size would be more than sufficient for this tool. So you are going to cut yourself a tool, perhaps 12, 14 inches. I would split it with my knife and I would tie this in, and that's going to give me a strong, durable tool that's going to help me flesh out a hide. So I hope you're hungry after all that crafting, because we also have 3 circle hooks and an arrowhead to put food in your belly. So the arrowhead has another inspirational quote, and that is gratitude. And boy, are you going to be experiencing a lot of gratitude if you can stick an arrowhead like this into something in a survival situation. So this is actually a pretty good sized arrowhead. This is actually legal in my state. This is over 3/4 of an inch. Arrowhead this size would work just fine as an arrow. You could also attach this to an atlatl, and this is going to get you into medium and large game if you're willing to do your part. So this is the largest of the 3 fishing hooks that are included on the card, and it's got a nice size eye on it. So this is going to work well if you're using non-standard monofilament fishing lines. So if you had to use paracord or improvised cord of some type. So this is not actually a true circle hook, but it's pretty darn close. And a circle hook is my favorite type of hook for any passive fishing. So if I don't have a hand reel, or if I'm not casting out and actively reeling that fish in, if I have a passive set, so a jug line or a limb line of some type, this is going to be the type of hook I want. The Woniya Thibeault Signature Card has a lot of really unique features that I love. The fact that I can take a hide, and I have 2 different hide scraping tools, that is outstanding. I can harvest the tool handles with the saw back. I've got an awl for boring holes. I've got 2 special needles as well as 2 standard needles. And then I also have an outstanding arrowhead and 3 quality fishing hooks. This card is definitely one to have with you.